So your past work on user-centric payouts in streaming put forward this fair model of payouts for artists that's based on listening rather than on market share or backroom negotiations. How does that thread continue into your work now? Because I mean, you were at a streaming service, now you're at an AI voice company. I'm curious, how does that all connect in your mind?
The very upfront answer to that is it was a really difficult task to repair the past. And it was one of those efforts that we saw through data, we saw through building the solution to streaming before we had the AI conundrum, as we were seeing the beginning of fraudulent streaming, as we were seeing this kind of convergence, the signals of this convergence that we're in now. We were trying to repair the past, evolve the economic model, and then some, which took a lot of different kinds of effort, right? It wasn't just building trust in what we were creating and putting into the market. It was also getting everyone and every stakeholder to admit there needs to be a change. And then the most difficult part was getting them to adopt the change when they were used to the way things are being done and the way money is being, the value of playlists and things of that nature. So this, on the other hand, was and is a huge opportunity at shaping this at the genesis
Hmm.
of, let's call it, the next format of music. Some people call that, right? It's not necessarily another format if this technology now creates multiple opportunities and challenges. Some of them is new revenue, some of them is new IP, especially in the voice section side of things. But yeah, I'd say it was really coming out of that experience in the trenches of streaming and seeing this new frontier and seeing the vision and the runway to create something that unilaterally can benefit all if done right. So yeah, that was the initial appeal 3-ish years ago to jump in and start building in this space.
Yeah, yeah. So on the stuff you were doing at SoundCloud with the user-centric payouts, it was sort of like, how do we fix some things, adjust to an equitable payout method, and um, and what you're seeing now is more like, how do I be part of something from the start, from when it's first emerging in the market? Like, how do we make this piece of it fair? And both are creator
Yeah.
centric too. I mean, that's the other piece of it that's interesting, right? Like SoundCloud's brand has been like the creator first streaming service anyway. Like the artist, it's oriented around the artist just uploading and sharing stuff, finding collaboration opportunities, that sort of thing. And the model that VoiceSwap has seems to be very creator centric as well, both in terms of creating tools for creators to start playing with AI voice, but also treating the training data creators as creators and having attribution for them as well as payout and royalties there.
Absolutely. It's actually, we took a good amount of time in 2023 before launching publicly to answer that question of how would we monetize this? How do the royalties work? That we not only are doing it right, but we're also monetizing something that you couldn't have monetized before. So the fact that people that are subscribing to our online service with our public models, so all those creators and artists, and they're all legitimate artists. There's no such thing as jazz singer A and R&B singer B or anything like that. It's legitimate artists, and some of them quite known that have their models public, and people are using them throughout their workflow. So even if someone is using Liam Bailey's voice or one that I can't announce yet, but this year we're releasing, which I'm sure most people on this call will know, they're using them in their workflow. And in that process of just swapping a voice, trying out anything, experimenting, and it's not even going to end in a commercial release. It's just going through the workflow to pitch even to those artists if they want to feature on it. They're all making money during that process. So even through a demo of just using and trying things out, artists are generating passive income through the technology, that was the initial impetus to get people to adopt this because the initial class of artists that we worked with, they not only trusted us to try to do this in the right way as other companies were blitzscaling and using, questionable efforts and models. We did it in a way to say, let's do this together, let's grow, let's get you money. And you could see how this is growing as we build out all the other avenues and potential for their voice models that they own. that they take ownership of and have control with us. So it was the bedrock of doing this right that now those artists, they can go to any other platform. They can go to what some would consider a competitor of ours in the voice space and music, but they can, through API, use their model with us, with other platforms, other companies, other enterprises. So really the way we envisioned it and have deployed it is it's not just sitting with us, it's us partnering with a voice talent, maybe a voiceover actor, a musician, artist, singer, producer, and then having them have the ability to go out into any ecosystem and to leverage that, what we call source of truth, which is their voice model. But yeah, the revenue, the royalties, that was the bedrock of where we started everything. From that point is where we started to build everything else. Um, and quite frankly, experiment in some respects.